People have been saying for years that the Democrats are using social media and coercing social media owners to change the way that they moderate their platforms and what they can and can't show on their platforms. But is it the Democrats doing that? Or, as the New York Times is alleging now, is it actually Donald Trump and Elon Musk who are putting their thumbs on the scale through the use of social media? Let's see.
Musk is going all in to elect Trump. This article is by Theodore Schleifer, Maggie Haberman,
Why?
Ryan Mack, and Jonathan Swan, and read by an automated voice. In the final weeks of the presidential campaign, the richest man in the world has involved himself in the U.S. election in a manner unparalleled in modern history. Elon Musk, seen over the weekend jumping for joy alongside former President Donald J. Trump at a rally in Butler, PA, is now talking to the Republican candidate multiple times a week. He has effectively moved his base of operations to Pennsylvania, the place that he has recently told confidants he believes is the linchpin to Mr. Trump's re-election. He has relentlessly promoted Mr. Trump's candidacy to his 201 million followers on X, the social platform formerly known as Twitter, that he bought for $44 billion, and has used to spread conspiracy theories about the Democratic Party and to insult its candidate, Vice President Kamala Harris. Above all, he is personally steering the actions of a super PAC that he has funded with tens of millions of dollars to turn out the vote for Mr. Trump, not just in Pennsylvania, but across the country. He has even proposed taking a campaign bus tour across Pennsylvania and knocking on doors himself, in part to see how his money is being used. Taken together, a clear picture has emerged of Mr. Musk's battle plan as he directs his efforts to elect Mr. Trump with the same frenetic energy and exacting demands that he has honed at his companies SpaceX, Tesla, and X. As early as February, Mr. Musk was speaking apocalyptically in private about what he considered the crucial need to defeat President Biden. But even as he was meeting with advisors in Austin, Texas in April to plot his super PAC, Mr. Musk sounded as if he considered Mr. Trump merely the lesser of two evils. He told friends in the spring that he wasn't sure he even wanted to explicitly endorse Mr. Trump. These days, in private conversations, Mr. Musk is obsessive, almost manic, about the stakes of the election and the need for Mr. Trump to win.
This is short. Goddamn better be.
His name is Elon Musk. He saved free speech. He created so many different great things. Where is he? Come on up here, Elon. He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here. Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Hi, everyone.
Wait, no, that's actually that big. I thought it was like the bulletproof glass warping it, but that's a hell of a hat, isn't it?
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Oh, so many internet updates to you, my man.
He praises Mr. Trump's courage under fire. He endorsed him on the night of the assassination attempt in Butler, and talks about how funny he is. One person who spoke recently to Mr. Musk recalled him saying, without any hint of irony, "I love Trump." Mr. Musk's frenzied engagement reflects his view of this moment in American history. On X, he has warned in dire terms about the effects of progressive policies and censorship. He has claimed, without basis, that Democrats are trying to fill the country with undocumented immigrants who would reward them with permanent power, warning that the 2024 race could be the last free election in America. It may be impossible to capture the financial value of all the support Mr. Musk is providing to Mr. Trump. This is in part because of his role on X, where he amplifies so much of the former president's message. Mr. Trump has privately used grand and unverified terms to describe what Mr. Musk is donating to the super PAC. telling one associate recently that the figure is $500 million. But friends and colleagues say Mr. Musk is adopting the same strategy that he has used during other crises he has considered existential. Just as Mr. Musk worked late into the night as his companies teetered on the verge of catastrophe, tinkering with rocket designs at SpaceX, sleeping on a couch in the Tesla factory, or making staff cuts at Twitter, Mr. Musk has deemed this an all-hands-on-deck moment. And so, just as he recruited friends, family, and trusted lieutenants to Twitter after he bought the company, Mr. Musk has done the same at America PAC, which he founded to help Mr. Trump. Most recently, Mr. Musk added Steve Davis, a former SpaceX engineer and the head of his tunneling company, to the group, with Mr. Davis reprising a sidekick role that he played after Mr. Musk's takeover of Twitter. Ensconced in a war room in Pittsburgh with a team of lawyers, public relations professionals, canvassing experts, and longtime friends, Mr. Musk is trying to apply strategies and entrepreneurial lessons from his businesses to a grinded-out political mission with just weeks to go until Election Day. This article is based on interviews with 17 people familiar with Mr. Musk's thinking and operations as Election Day approaches. I'm not sure there is a precedent in modern history to how Musk has inserted himself into the presidential race, said Benjamin Soskis, a historian of the ultra-rich. The relationship between Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk has evolved over time. Mr. Musk, who once privately called Mr. Trump a stone-cold loser, possesses in abundance the things Mr. Trump values most: wealth, fame, and a massive platform. Mr. Musk initially supported Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida for president and suggested that Mr. Trump should sail into the sunset. Mr. Trump replied that Mr. Musk begged on his knees for government subsidies. Still, Mr. Trump has remained fascinated by Mr. Musk. America PAC declined to comment, and the Trump team declined to provide a comment for this story. Mr. Musk did not return a request for comment. Secret support at first. The idea for the Super PAC was born out of two exclusive dinners. After Mr. DeSantis flamed out of the Republican primary, Mr. Musk began to tell friends that he wanted to find a way to support Mr. Trump, secretly. At one dinner earlier this year with a group of Trump-friendly billionaires including Nelson Peltz and John Paulson, Mr. Musk voiced an earnest, if naive, belief in the way that politics should work. He dismissed the power of television advertising and spoke sweepingly of an organic movement to elect Mr. Trump, with supporters persuading others to join the cause. 2 voters by 2 voters. That was how Mr. Trump would win, he said. In April, Mr. Musk arranged for a dinner to be held at the Los Angeles home of the venture capitalist David Sachs. There, Mr.
Is there any, like, and this is a genuine question because I do not care that much about, like, social media owners, like, at all. I don't know anything about their lives or anything about what they believe or anything like that, except for when they make it very public. Is there any statement from any other social media owner that are like this explicit about getting someone elected, about which side that they take? Like a single one. Like I'll shut up on that. All right. I just cannot think of anybody at all that has talked about, this is how I want to help this person get elected using my platform. There's definitely, almost certainly, I know it's not over here. I'm just running around because I'm talking. I know. Like all the other social media owners, they're like pretty careful, right? They're pretty careful. And even if like you can kind of suss out what their beliefs are, you're not going to catch them being so overt about it, you know? There are no social media owners. We are the owners. We are in charge. Okay, let's keep going.
Mr. Musk and a phalanx of some of the world's wealthiest people, including Rupert Murdoch, former Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, and the one-time Trump supporter Peter Thiel, said that 10 by 10 voters was how Mr. Trump would win. Mr. Musk told about a dozen dinner companions that supporting Mr. Trump would be politically safe if they did it in large numbers, and so it was important for the business people to organize their peers. Mr. Trump has made clear that he appreciates the help, promising to appoint Mr. Musk to oversee a government efficiency team if he is re-elected. At a rally in Reading, Pennsylvania, on Wednesday night, Mr. Trump appeared preoccupied with Mr. Musk, telling stories about his talks with Mr. Musk in 3 unrelated tangents
Didn't he call
and
him like a
celebrating
little
the dark
bitch
MAGA hat
before?
that some attendees said they had bought because Mr. Musk wore it.
I'm pretty sure, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't there a quote of Donald Trump saying, like, if I told him to get on his hands and knees and beg, he would do it because he's a little bitch or something along those lines?
The relationship has proved significant in other ways. After a reporter's publication of hacked Trump campaign information last month, the campaign connected with X to prevent the circulation of links to the material on the platform. According to 2 people with knowledge of the events, X eventually blocked links to the material and suspended the reporter's account. 1 million voters. At the core of Mr. Musk's project is America PAC, an organization that the Trump campaign is relying on for significant help in knocking on doors in battleground states and encouraging 800,000 to 1 million voters to cast ballots for the former president. The group has spent about $80 million to help Mr. Trump, according to federal records, primarily on its canvassing program. Mr. Musk's advisors have told donors that the group has about 2,500 organizers in the field, and the group has effectively acquired the Wisconsin assets of another group, Turning Point USA, taking on about 200 new canvassers in the state. Some canvassers, during training, have been shown Mr. Musk's social media posts about the group as a way to encourage them. The scale of Mr. Musk's personal financial commitment will not be made public until the middle of the month. Initially, Mr. Musk and his friends in the group had spoken of a budget totaling from $140 million to $180 million, almost all it from Mr. Musk himself. The group has told other prospective donors in recent weeks that it is fully funded. The Trump campaign is conducting something of an experiment by outsourcing portions of its voter contact operation to America PAC and other groups. That is possible because of new federal election guidance that allows political campaigns to coordinate their activities more closely with outside organizations. The campaign signed a data-sharing agreement with America PAC and several others, and it works closely with them to assess which voters are most important to speak to at their homes. Still, some people in Mr. Trump's orbit are uncertain about how effective the outside efforts will be. Some donors to the super PAC have groused that Mr. Musk is relying on the same team that formed the core of Mr. DeSantis's advisors when he attempted a similar effort in the Republican primaries, to no avail. Veterans of past campaigns argue that canvassing operations generally take months or even years to become effective machines. There is little precedent for successfully standing up a group of this scale just months before a presidential election. And turmoil has plagued America PAC at times, as Mr. Musk has repeatedly jettisoned advisors and vendors that were supplying canvassers and replaced them, at one point stranding hundreds of paid door knockers across the country. A senior Trump campaign official, who was granted anonymity to discuss internal views about America PAC, said that the team was not relying on the group.
One second. I'm going to go back just a couple seconds. Okay.
The scale of Mr. Musk's personal financial commitment will not be made public until the middle of the month. Initially, Mr. Musk and his friends in the group had spoken of a budget totaling from $140 million to $180 million, almost all it from Mr. Musk himself. The group has told other prospective donors in recent weeks that it is fully funded. The Trump campaign is conducting something of an experiment by outsourcing portions of its voter contact operation to America PAC and other groups. That is possible because of new federal election guidance that allows political campaigns to coordinate their activities more closely with outside organizations. The campaign signed a data-sharing agreement with America PAC and several others, and it works closely with them to assess which voters are most important to speak to at their homes. Still, some people in Mr. Trump's orbit are uncertain about how effective the outside efforts will be. Some donors to the super PAC have groused that Mr. Musk is relying on the same team that formed the core of Mr. DeSantis's advisors.
What's so interesting is, like, the thing that, like, seems to be motivating Musk is fear. He thinks that he's if Kamala Harris wins, right? So he's going all in on Trump. He's, to quote him, right? But, like, Why? Why would you be, unless you've done something illegal and that they can investigate, and then you'll get because you've done something illegal. But I don't think that he's, unless the America PAC thing right here is like actually against FEC, like it violates FEC guidelines, which I'm not sure that it doesn't. Like it feels like a super PAC is supposed to be kept at arm's length from the campaign. Like you're not supposed to, like otherwise you're directly donating way too much, right? But I just think it would be so gratifying. Although, like, they would just say that, like, I don't even know how they would respond. Like, if they think that they're truly and that the Dems are going to come after them, number one, every single time conservatives fearmonger over something that the Democrats are going to do, like bring in communism or ban all the guns, that shit never happens. If these people think that they're going to get arrested, Jesus Christ. Do I have to, like, separate all the colors from each other? That doesn't seem possible. Red and blue make purple? No. I just think it'd be incredibly gratifying to see Kamala Harris win, and then like literally nothing happens to these people, and then they have to explain why nothing happened again.
When he attempted a similar effort in the Republican primaries, to no avail. Veterans of past campaigns argue that canvassing operations generally take months or even years to become effective machines. There is little precedent for successfully standing up a group of this scale just months before a presidential election. And turmoil has plagued America PAC at times, as Mr. Musk has repeatedly jettisoned advisors and vendors that were supplying canvassers and replaced them, at one point stranding hundreds of paid door knockers across the country. A senior Trump campaign official, who was granted anonymity to discuss internal views about America PAC, said that the team was not relying on the group, but did consider it a key partner, along with many other outside groups, as added firepower. Spreading misinformation. If America PAC is the most ambitious and costly manifestation of Mr. Musk's support for Mr. Trump, nowhere has his cheerleading been more evident than on X. Since publicly endorsing the former president in July, he has posted at least 109 times about Mr. Trump and the election. And while he has said in the past that the platform should be politically neutral, he has used it to advance election misinformation and the baseless claim that Democrats are engaging in deliberate voter importation and fast-tracking immigrants to citizenship to gain control over the electorate. One post with that claim this month has garnered nearly 34 million views, according to X's own metrics, underscoring the scale of attention that Mr. Musk, owner of the platform's most followed account, can command. Unless Trump wins and we get rid of the mountain of smothering regulations that have nothing to do with safety, humanity will never reach Mars, Mr. Musk wrote this month in a post that has gained nearly 18 million views. This is existential. Online, Mr. Musk has painted a dark picture of what would happen if Mr. Trump lost, a circumstance that could hurt Mr. Musk personally. In an interview with the former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, he acknowledged trashing Kamala nonstop and being all in for Mr. Trump. If Mr. Trump loses, he joked, "How long do you think my prison sentence is going to be?"
Again, I just feel like, man, if he hasn't done anything illegal, does he think that he's doing something illegal to help Donald Trump win the election, and that's why he might go to jail? Because, like, the only reason people are mad at you is because you're being, like, a hyper partisan in an open way, doing all the things that Republicans have accused the Democrats of doing, but there's no evidence of the Democrats doing any of the things that he's doing, like, anywhere, ever. People are irritated at you. Nobody cares about you, like, so much that they're going to, like, prosecute you for, like, doing nothing. Yeah, Musk is not going to prison, but he thinks he's going to prison. Or at least he's telling people that he thinks he's going to prison because it plays well. Bro, I'm going to need another puzzle here in a second, or I'm going to lose my mind. Where the am I supposed to go? Where the am I supposed to go? Also, hey guys, Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the channel. Hey, you know what would be super poggers of you? If you guys want to help me out while I'm out on the road going to my little brother's wedding, if you guys want to hook a brother up with some Skrilla, go ahead and use this link that I'm throwing right here.